Hello, everybody. Welcome to Celebrate Southern Africa. And today we are celebrating across two continents. I'm in the UK and we have Lynette Gonga sitting in Harare. I am so excited to chat to you, Lynette, because we have been chatting online for about 2 years now. Is that about right?
Exactly. Thank you so much for having me on Celebrate Africa. I'm so happy to celebrate Southern Africa.
No, it's just so exciting to chat to you because you are doing such amazing stuff in Harare, and I love what you're doing on Facebook. I'm dying to get down to Harare to do one of your walking tours. So tell us about your walking tours that you do in the city of Harare.
Okay, so everyone is welcome to join the free walking tours, and I hope that travel will open up and all of you guys can come and join. So typically, the free walking tour is, as the name says, free, but you're free to leave a tip or a donation, or token of appreciation to the guide. What I basically do on this tour is I take the tourists around the major tourist attractions in the city of Harare that probably they wouldn't know about. And I give them background, like for first time traveler that doesn't have any friends, that doesn't know where to eat. So I basically talk about where you find these things. I talk about the history, the culture, the economic situation, particularly in Zimbabwe. There can be confusion with the currencies, which SIM cards to use. And so this tour is like a general orientation that after this tour, you're able to go around on your own and you feel more comfortable. Then, if they would like to see other places and they would like more services, then we have other packages.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, I don't know Harare at all. I've only been to Bulawayo and up to Vic Falls. And if I was considering coming to Harare, what makes the city so special and why you are so passionate about it?
Okay, I think like the most important thing that someone must definitely, a tourist should get into is the culture and meeting the people. It's not mostly about the buildings, but about actually meeting and interacting with the people. I think this is what I always try and showcase. So whether it be the nightlife or just general interaction at the market with the people, this is something that you will take back home with you and you will remember for years after the lasting connections because the people in Zimbabwe are so to what media says. Come here, you will feel that everybody is welcoming. A lot of the people in the urban cities speak English, so this is really perfect. And I think it makes a lot of people feel comfortable when they come to Harare.
I must say, the Zimbabwean, it seems to be a Zimbabwean culture to be warm and friendly because you can identify a Zimbabwean in any room because you just know that the person who is the friendly, engaging person must be from Zimbabwe. So it's something that is the most wonderful thing to be able to showcase, and you're clearly proud of your city. Um, Tell us a bit about your top attractions that you would suggest. So you mentioned the market. But what else would you say for people if they were arriving in Harare for the very first time?
So what most people don't know is that the parliament in Zimbabwe, in Harare, is actually free for any tourist to enter free of charge. So all you need to go is to go to the parliament, and the parliament has a guide from the Parliament of Zimbabwe that will take you through the parliament. You can take pictures, you can learn about the functions of the parliament. So definitely the parliament is one stop, and as well as the Heroes Acre, which is like a shrine where we bury the liberation heroes that we had in our country. And it's not typical that it's not typical that people know that you can go as well to the Heroes Acre, but the Heroes Acre has an entrance fee of $10 for international tourists and $3 for local.
Okay, so what is the currency situation like now? Is it US dollars that people are using on the streets?
Right now, if you come to Harare, you can both use the Zimbabwean dollar and the United States dollar together. Then, if you maybe have the British pound or an Australian dollar, then you can go to a bank and change it either to United States dollars. But I always advise that when you arrive into the country, you bring with you some United States dollars. This will make your life like 10 times easier.
Yeah, and in small denominations, I think that would be the best, isn't it?
Exactly.
Okay. So tell us how you ended up in tourism. Is it something that you've always been interested in, or is it something that just kind of happened as you got older?
Yeah, it's not something that I thought I would ever do. I studied accounting, and because my father was an accountant, and this was the family way. But then, as I grew older and started to find my own way, I was traveling a lot, and I traveled in North America. I traveled in Europe. I traveled in some islands in Southern Africa and Southern African countries. And people always used to ask me, particularly in faraway countries, like, where is Zimbabwe? What are Zimbabwean people like? Or why are you traveling? And I realized that they didn't know anything about my country. This is why I then started the free walking tours, because I wanted to show those who came my version, or for them to see Harare through my eyes. And that's how it started. Then I actually then realized that I had stumbled upon a niche market. No one was focusing that much on Harare. Nobody thought that Harare was interesting, or people were coming here. But people always pass by Harare on the way to Big Falls, or if they're here for a business conference and so forth. And these are the people that I started to target.
Fantastic, because we need to tell the world a bit about Africa, because I think, a lot of people just put African countries into one basket. They just go, oh, that's Africa. And yet every country, every region, every city has its own character, doesn't it? And has its own stories to tell. And I think we need to be the ambassadors to tell the world that it's not just one continent, it's a million places with millions of stories. And I think flying the flag for Zimbabwe is exactly, the right thing to be doing. So tell me, what is your favorite part of Harare?
Wow. I love a lot of things about Harare. If it would be a location in Harare, it would probably be in maybe one of the high density suburbs. So I would go probably for Zivarasekwa or Tafara. These are high density suburbs where a lot of people live in smaller sized spaces, but it's so full of life. And every time I go there or interact with people from there, I'm motivated for that to improve their livelihood. And I find this very inspiring. And it's also very rich in diverse cultures, because the immigrants that would come from other African countries in the previous years would relocate and live in these areas. So this is where you'll find most of the people that came from Malawi or Zambia. So you will learn a lot about Malawian culture. You can even learn Malawian language from there, and the history of these countries and the culture that they brought with when they moved as immigrants in Zimbabwe.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I'm going to book that in when I come and visit you in Harare. Because I think those areas, like you mentioned, the mixture of culture and the vibrancy of the energy of what they, how they live their lives and the way they spend time together is when you go to suburbs where people have high walls and you can barely see the house from the road, those people don't have a connection with each other. They don't celebrate things together either, so I totally get that. And I think that's something very special to come and have a look at. So now if we're thinking about Harare as the capital city, you have mentioned in the past that something you wanted to do was kind of expand your walking tours into other cities. What are your plans for that? Have you thought about that any further?
Before COVID-19, we were already underway, like finding guides in Bulawayo, Mutare, Marondera, and other smaller cities, so that we can also have free walking tours, particularly in Bulawayo, because people either do Bulawayo Big Falls and there are no free walking tours there. But because of COVID-19, this kind of stalled it. But now we are doing virtual tours, and we're recruiting guides from these areas so that they can do the virtual tours in Bulawayo, Mutare, Masvingo, and showcase to the world what those cities are about.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so much fun. I bet you're having fun with that. You must be meeting really interesting people virtually.
Yes, amazing. Like, but it's very different from like the real physical tours that we do, because in the virtual tour you don't have the face interaction. The people are either typing back and posting comments, and they see your face, but you don't see their faces, which is a bit different.
Yeah, it's really difficult, isn't it? So what happened for you during COVID? Because of course your walking tours would have to have stopped. Did you do something else, or have you just waited for the industry to open up?
I got at first quite depressed, and I thought, well, oh, is the world ending? What is the future? During that time, I was reading a lot, but eventually I started to venture into different things like music, and now TV production. So I started to film my tours. Like I would go to the place and pre-record a video and release it. And this actually then started my career as a TV producer and presenter. I now have a show of
Wow!
of my own, a local TV on ZBC called Sim Icons, and yeah. Um, so I basically also try and blend this with tourism, trying to bring the people that I have met and interacted with on the tours that were doing outstanding things to local TV, and inspire the locals that probably only watch TV and don't use the internet.
Wow. So I'm talking to a TV host. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's what happened during COVID.
That's fantastic. I am so excited for you. And so tell us about Zim Icon. So do you have guests on the show? Do you interview local people? Do you go into businesses? Does it all happen virtually or in studios?
Okay, so Zim Icons basically is we're doing first season one, the first series, and we look for ordinary Zimbabweans that are doing outstanding things from ordinary means and are unheralded. So we want to share their stories to inspire people. That's what I'm interested in, like the people making a difference for ordinary people. So that's what Zim Icons is. Every episode, we identify one or two people, we feature them and share their stories. Yeah.
Oh, I am so excited. Is there any way we can watch this, or is it only on local TV?
It's on local TV, but there is a YouTube channel, Mama Products. Yeah. So you can also find the link on YouTube if you Google Mama Range of Products. They have all the episodes uploaded there after they flight on local TV.
Oh, that's fantastic, Lynette. That is absolutely brilliant. Now, tell me about the other packages that you are offering. So people do the walking tours, and then you've got, if they want something else, what kinds of things could you offer tourists into Harare?
I am particularly interested in the cultural experiences. So we have what we call the Nyau dancers or Zhule. And this is like a secret cult that a lot of people don't know about. But once in a while, they have public performances where they dance and they're wearing all these costumes, and it's very interesting. So I sometimes take the tourists there, or I take the tourists to the village, and they experience an authentic feel of Zimbabwe from a local perspective. Like we had a Christmas where we took tourists to a village and they spent it in a traditional setting. This was really popular. Another experience would be to see some tourist attractions like the Dombo Shava Cave. So we could go hiking and have a picnic with them. But what really I saw was a particular interest to the tourists was the cultural experiences. So we were trying to and still working on diversifying how we can showcase more of these on an actual tour.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. Who do you think are your main tourists at the moment? Are they people who are, I mean, at the moment it's slightly different, but before pre-COVID, was it mostly people who were staying there for business and had a couple of days off? Or are you finding that people are now making Harare a destination?
Okay, I think most of the people that joined the tours in the past were expats that and diplomats that were actually living or coming for the first time, and they're going to spend the next 2 years, but they wanted to know about the city before they actually lived here, as well as they were very popular with Emirates cabin crew because every day they had the crew flying into Harare, and they had this day to just spend finding out as much as possible. Um, then business people, but not so much people that would come specifically for Harare. I don't think so. Unless maybe they were like doing a backpacking trip of Southern Africa and they have been in smaller towns and now they want to rest a little bit in a city, you know?
So that's the mission. That's the mission now, to make Harare the destination and not just the stopover.
Exactly, exactly.
Well, you're on the right track.
I think with these cultural activities that are happening in the cultural tours, people would definitely want to come and be a part of it because it's so vibrant, full of life, and something that you wouldn't want to miss.
No, absolutely. That sounds amazing. Tell us about, because there's a lot of expats that live in the UK, and of course we have, Zimbabweans around the world. Um, how are you feeling about the future of Zimbabwe? Are you feeling that things are starting to shift and it's a little bit opening up a little bit? And are things just feeling a bit positive in the country?
I think at the moment everything is stable, and so this makes it a very good time for people that are business minded or that want to come and visit to come because nothing very unpredictable is going to happen. You know that this is the situation, and you will feel comfortable in the situation. So if we're like for business people, I think this is the best time. If you have a unique idea and you have identified your niche market, then you're probably going to do very well.
Well, that's perfect.
That's what I think. But I also think this is a personal decision because if you are negative and you don't see the vision, then there's no way you're going to make it. But if you're positive and keep pushing, there's nothing that can stop you. And for tourists as well, I think this is the perfect time to visit because in terms of pricing for accommodation, for food, everything went down because the tourist players are trying to invite more people, locals and international, so that they can boost business to cover up for the time they lost during this pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely. And so tell me, what is the best way that people can get hold of your walking tours? Because if people want to come into Harare, could they also just contact you if they are not sure about coming to Harare, and if they just for some ideas for accommodation and things like that, could they get in touch with you for that as well?
Yes, definitely. I like to assist as well in the pre-planning so that you don't meet them the tourist that's panicking and didn't bring that because they didn't know. On my website as well, I have made a page where I talk about the things that they should prepare before they come to Harare. So they can either contact me on Facebook, Instagram, or email through the website. I will gladly help anyone plan or think about some things that they would need to consider before traveling.
Fantastic. So tell me, what makes you a proud Zimbabwean? What makes your heart sing about Zimbabwe?
Wow. Okay, let me think. What makes me really proud of being Zimbabwe? I think it's the struggle. This makes me really proud. Watching how we go through all these obstacles in life, like anyone else around the world. Their life is not a walk in the park. There are ups and downs, whether it be your health or your family situation. But what makes me proud is the fact that Zimbabweans still make it out of this turmoil and they still achieve their dreams. Like you said, there are some Zimbabweans that are doing very well in the UK and all over the world. And they came right from this place and they believed in themselves. They found themselves opportunities. And these are the people and these are the things that make me proud of being Zimbabwean.
Wow, that is so lovely. I can totally relate to that because I am really proud of coming from where I come from, and we take all of that with us when we go wherever we go in the world. Where we come from is the person that we are for the rest of our lives. And I know that there are Zimbabweans around the world who every day there's something about Zimbabwe in the way they live their life.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So finally, Lynette, would you just tell us the name of your website and your Facebook pages, and your email address so that people can get in touch with you directly?
Okay, that would be great if people can get in touch with me. I'll be excited and waiting for all the messages and any questions that they may have. My website is www.adventurehorizons.africa. On Facebook, you can find me as Free Walking Tour Harare, and this is like the only Free Walking Tour Harare, so you won't be messaging anyone else. You can also find me on Instagram as Free Walking Tour Harare. Yeah, I think that would work.
Fantastic. And before we go, what's your favorite Zimbabwean dish?
Wow. Food here is for me something that I've been eating so since I was a child, but I would recommend, and I really love this. This is rice and peanut butter. Uh, yes, you make the rice and then you mix it with peanut butter. It's so nice, and you can have it with either some vegetables if you're vegetarian. If you eat meat, you can have it with a stew, and you won't regret this. It's like
That sounds
absolutely,
so delicious.
yeah, yeah.
What do you call it? Is it just rice and peanut butter?
We in Shona we call it mashakada. But if you're looking up the recipe on the internet, then you can just say rice with peanut butter from Zimbabwe recipe, and you find it. And it's easy to make, but it's so delicious, and it's very nutritious as well.
Oh, I'm definitely making that for dinner. Like there is no ways I am not having that today because that's got me very excited. Well, Lynette, it has been such a pleasure to chat to you, and I am so looking forward to one day when we can to come and actually make Harare a destination and not just pass through. But it's always so lovely to chat to people who are making a difference, and you clearly are. And I am so proud to be from Southern Africa, and when I get to connect with people like you. It's just thank you for everything that you're doing, and I know you're supporting some wonderful communities out there as well.
Thank you. Thank you
And
very much. You're so kind.
well, look after yourself and we'll chat soon.
Okay, you too. Thank you very much.